eyes is like a glitter bowl. The feel of your skin is like a liquid gold. Don't you know that you're a miracle? Oh. And I will love you come rain or shine, through hurricanes or fields of fire. I will be with you till the end of time, until the end of time. Face has got me mesmerized. The touch of your hand, you got me paralyzed. You are perfect in every way. Oh. 'Cause you are something of a masterpiece. You're all that I dream of when I fall asleep. You show me the way that I believe, the way that I believe.
Hello. Good morning. I think we're on the internet. Are, are we on the internet? Hello, good morning, good morning. You do. You actually really do. Hey, clothing doesn't have a gender. Oh, shoot. 1 second, 1 second. You're all muted, so no one heard any of that. Because I am a pro at this, and I know what I'm doing. Ha ha! Hey, everybody!
Reverse.
Now we're good.
We're gonna try that one more time, and this time we're gonna power
Wait,
through
what?
it.
Oh, we'll do it
Ready?
live.
Fuck it, we're going live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Morning Rachel.
This is just like I did last night when I was muted.
We're starting off strong, baby. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Morning Rachel, your morning TRPG talk show. We've got a very special guest in the building today. And you know, since I've already mentioned it, I'm just gonna say with what I believe is the best beard in the business. So please give us your introduction one more time.
Hello, I'm Nix. Hire me as a booth beard, I guess, is my future.
Oh my God, can booth beards be a thing, please?
I've heard tell that they're a thing, and like, I think I found my calling.
The era of the booth babe has ended. We booth bearded now.
Long
Hey.
with the booth beard.
If that's a thing I can do, I'm going to do it.
If anybody needs a patchy beard for their booth,
I'm not even going to be hired. I'm just going to hang out outside a booth. I booth beard in my spare time. Amateur booth bearding.
I thought I missed cons before, but now I miss them even more because this needs to be a thing. If Morning Ritual ever gets a booth at anything, we're getting booth beards.
Jamie has a magnificent beard too, though.
Who said we only need one?
We can bring.
Yeah,
I want a legion.
Just a veritable plethora of booth beards.
I want our booth to look like it's holding all the extras from Viking.
Soldier, thank you for that subscription with Prime. And also, welcome. I just saw that someone had also followed, and thank you for that. I missed the name completely because I was focusing on booth beards.
And that's why they work. You can't pay attention.
They draw your attention.
I need to look this up because I want to see.
Booty RPG, welcome. That was you.
Oh, cool. Nice. Hello. So, I don't even know where to go after booth beards. That's sweet. That's swept the leg Johnny on me. Like, I'm just.
I know.
Booth beard emote.
I just want to Google it, and I just want to be like, yes.
Oh, that's just before 2020 happened. I was 100% just like, I'm gonna start doing small local cons with my glass etching, and like I even the semi-local one, I put a deposit down. I was gonna table it because I've noticed like go to a lot of these cons and just like people just do that like yard sale thing.
Or they just hang out.
They're just like, I got a table of stuff, buy it. I'm like. And you go to RPG cons, and you're like, wait, don't you people role play? Like, be a shopkeep for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Like, I'm plotting out a whole thing.
You gotta have the bell. Like, yeah.
I legit bought outfits for tabling cons. Like, I'm not playing.
I'm telling you,
I'm coming in as a threat.
The next con that opens up, everybody needs to just go buck wild. Like, I'm telling you, like, I want costumes to be just. Look, we've all been in quarantine for a very long time. We've got a lot of time. Let's use it to just go nuts when the conventions open back up.
I will dress up every day as a different OC.
It's like, you go to a lot of these tables and you see people and they're just like, they're literally on their phone.
Yeah.
At a lot of them. And it's just like, how are you not like, greetings, fair traveler. Welcome to my wares. Like, ham it up.
Especially here at a Ren Fair.
Make people across the way be like, what's going on at that booth?
Exactly. Like, and the thing is, like, and this is a little bit of a segue. Look, you're already gonna have a ton of people at your booth because you make just insanely awesome stuff. We just gotta get that out of the way. This is amazing. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! You like I've been wanting something from yours for a while now. So now I'm about to be addicted.
And
make a lot of
look at this. Wait, I gotta get the light right on that.
Oh, photographing glass is so awful.
It's so hard, and I have a light ring above me, and it's not really working, but it's so nice.
It's got the logo on it and everything. You make a lot of cool bar stuff, so I'm just like, oh well.
Well, that's what I love too, is those moments where people are like, oh, you make art, and then like yesterday I put a picture of a wine glass that said horny, and I was like, this is my life now. Like,
though the blue glass ones that you put out the other day?
No, this is just it's like I do stuff like the blue glass, the cobalts, everybody seems to like, but it's like I put a ton of hours into like some of these designs that I just tweak a little bit until it gets just right. And everybody's like, it's cool, it's arty, it says Bard on it, sweet. And then I'm like, look, I made a thing, and it's literally just a stemless wine glass that says horny with a line on it, and everybody loses their
or like with the glass stones.
Yeah.
Just like say fuck.
You guys want a stone that says you can do it and I love you? And they're like, it's okay. I'm like, what about one that says fuck? And they're like, huh?
Everybody loses their minds.
But I can fuck, but in like fancy lettering. They're like, who doesn't like a fancy fuck in their pocket?
Wording ritual out of context. Who doesn't like a fancy fuck in their pocket?
You know that's a highlight reel we need to make now. But I do have to ask, what is the most surprisingly successful design you've come up with? The one that you're just like, well, this is nothing. This is clearly just me having a laugh. And then it's just like everybody wants it.
Just for a joke, I did those traveler stones.
Oh yeah, with the dicks on them?
Yeah. I'm just like, this is my life now. I'm putting dicks on rocks. And like, I put a giant disclaimer in the listing of like, please be sure you know what you're ordering, because I don't want you to get mad at me when you get a fucking dick in the mail. You ordered this.
You sent someone a box of dicks.
Yeah. Like, I'm just like, please make sure before you buy this, you know exactly what this is. There's a penis on a rock. I'm sending you cock rocks.
Is it Rock Hard Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I should have known it was those. I should have known it.
You should have realized how not only into it Critical Role fans are, but how much people like dicks, really.
Yeah, penis on a what now?
I'm in.
Oh my God. Sorry, I never really thought about the fact that you have to mail all those dick rocks.
Yep, horny glasses and dick rocks. I am an art.
I suffer from my art. I am artiste.
There's a college humor sketch that this reminds me of, where it's just like it's them all trying to come up with like the perfect sketch to be funny and get their audience, and one of the guys is just drunk and he just goes, "Put a butt in the thumbnail." And everybody's like, "Wait, what?" Just put a butt on the thumbnail. That's it. That's what we need. And eventually they do it and it works. And it's just like, I kind of get that feeling from your stories. It's just like, put a dick on a rock and just
and we'll
there it is.
Years of agonizing over like, I can make art. Why aren't I more popular? Clearly I need to put more dicks on things.
God bless the traveler.
It's like, imagine if they go to another country and the package is inspected by customs.
It's a fertility totem.
Like people have bought that for themselves, and that they've bought it as gifts for other people, and I would pay to see the interaction. Like, I know you like Critical Role, so it's a dick on a rock.
See, and that's why like I was real careful with the tags for that, because I didn't want some parent to be like, well, my granddaughter's into that Critical Role. What's that say? Oh Lord.
Well, I feel like Critical Role could stand to do a little bit of a better job letting people know that it's mature rated.
I just don't want somebody's nana to accidentally stumble across it when trying to find stocking stuffers.
Hey.
That is true. See, and that's why it's nice to have like people in the community that's doing this kind of stuff, because somebody just mass marketing this shit would not give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's like, when I was going to do the listing, like I said, I'm like, oh god, I need to like spoiler warding the shit out of this, because I don't want somebody to just be like, oh, it's a traveler stone.
It's
Send.
gonna look
Sure.
like the traveler, or it's gonna
Yeah.
look like the hooded cape. Oh, it's a hooded cape, all right.
Did that come out before the Traveler Con episode? I think it did.
Yeah, I think so. That was maybe a month ago. I was just like,
yeah.
What if I put dicks on the rocks?
Well, that's a very telling insight, because it played very well into what actually happened during Traveler Con. So hey, there you go for foresight.
Not caught up yet. I am like 3.
I am not gonna spoil anything. I'm just letting you know it's very well planned in one time. God damn
I think
it.
I got like someone didn't bother to tag their spoilers, and I saw the words "throwing dicks into a volcano."
I'm not gonna say anything else.
I know.
Oh God. So now I have another question. Like, clearly, you're making insanely awesome stuff, and like, how are you getting attached to your projects? Like, are you doing any kind of joint projects with anybody, or do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them?
Mostly people reach out to me. Like I did. I'm doing the Greenleaf Geeks. I'm one of the stretch goals for her Keyfish dice. Doing some did like a little custom GLG logo on teal and orange glass stones, and I have to do one for every backer of that.
There's a lot of backers.
That is.
I was like 2,300 glass rocks. I have to etch with a sandblaster individually.
Yeah, I love Leah. She's wonderful people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to hang out at PAX. We had lunch, and it was, yeah, that was my first big con, and I just had con shock the entire time.
You just had no idea what was going on at any given time. I had that
No
when I
clue.
went to Gen Con, but I actually, I felt like I came home when I went to Gen Con. I had that experience where it was just like, I know everybody. Hi. This is, I have reached my place. I have found my people. I am home.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Nah.
really the feeling that I got. And like anytime that I had a conversation with someone, it was always so warm and friendly. Yeah, it's a whole lot of rocks to etch. You're right, Riss.
And it was weird for me because like I literally walked in the door and somebody like yelled my name and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
I found when I went to Gen Con, I roomed with my friend Bex or DM Bex from a podcast called The Dice Girls, and like we actually met because when they were first starting their podcast, they're like, well, we want a cool title, and we're all women, and we want to call ourselves Critical Misses, but we saw that you already have that Facebook page. I'm like, yeah, but here's what I'm doing with it. I've got like this, and I'm doing the actual play games in my city, and I've built a community here, so I really can't give up the name, but I can help you come up with a new name and branding. And that's sort of how we met. And then I was just like, hey, do you want to roommate at Gen Con, so that way we save save cash? And like instant connection. Her and I are like, I adore her. I adore her dearly. And then yeah, we hung out with my friend Mark, who is also Ice Cream Dice, and like
Hung out with him at PAX
he's
Unplugged.
so good. I love Mark. I love Mark to pieces. Which I need to message him and let him know that I have to send him things that are coming in the mail soon.
Yeah, what is it? There's a picture that I love of me and Kelly the Opera Geek where I have lost all chill. Like, gone. Just like, that was like my expression the entire week.
That's kind of how I felt when I went to Gen
Like,
Con. I was just like, everything.
I don't know what's happening. Yeah, it was the weirdest. And what was funny is like I had etched 60 potion bottles that I had filled with colored resin. There was like a health potion and a mana potion that I had shipped to the hotel to just hand out to people, just all willy-nilly, just because it felt like the thing to do. And I had put it out there, this, that, and the other. And I guess there at the time I didn't know who they were. Snuggie. Yeah. Purple mohawk and a beard. And everybody was just like, oh, the purple mohawk and a beard, he's giving out free potion bottles. So like all weekend, I guess he was inundated with like, I want a potion bottle. And he's like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And so like when he found me later on social media, he was just like, you!
And the rivalry started.
Oh,
Lauren, I think if I made leather dice bags that look like testicles, I would probably sell 100, but I'm too prudish, I suppose. But Lauren, your dice bags are actually really beautiful. Like I really like your leather work.
But there could be a market.
I mean, there could be a market.
For ball bag dice bags? I mean,
let's be honest. There's a market.
There's always a market.
I mean, the more I'm thinking about them, the more I'm like, damn, I kind of want to buy them.
Good morning, Sphinx.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, pal.
So I mean, it's gotta be strange being like actually one of the top creators of the TTRPG community, because has anybody ever come up to you with a project where you're just like, eh?
And there hasn't been any that's really been like a nab. There's been a few that like logistically I can't do it.
Because you're one guy.
Well, I'm one guy, and it's like I don't have a laser etching machine. I can't get super fine detail. I do all of my stuff. Before I got the vinyl cutter, I was cutting everything by hand with an X-Acto knife. I did that for 9 years before I was like, oh, vinyl cutters are a thing. Like I should probably
like
get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, but yeah, before that, it's like I was doing everything by hand. I would print it out on sticky back vinyl and sit there for hours. Like, and I still do all of my super detailed pieces. I still do all those by hand because the vinyl cutter just doesn't do a good enough job.
Yeah. There are ones that, like the industrial ones, but it's all a matter of space and money because those ones. Hi, I work in print,
Mm-hmm.
so I've worked in print for like 15 years. Oh god,
Yeah,
15
I
years.
worked at a
S-
newspaper for a decade.
Yeah, so yeah, there are
Yeah.
actual vinyl cutters that can do that fine detail, but they're still it's still a bitch because you still have to like peel out the portions that you don't need once the cut
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, and that's very much with these. Like, I still have to do all, even though I don't cut it, I still have to do all the weeding by hand,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's, and with printing and cutting by hand, you can see, like, you're like, all right, I'm taking out the white in this design, or I'm taking out the black in this design. With the silhouette, it's all one color and it just cuts. You got to sit there and like have a visual aid to be like, all right, I'm doing a negative etching of this, so I need to take these spaces out, not these spaces.
Yeah.
And so plenty of times I'm like, and I just peeled off the wrong spot. Back to formula.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Like.
Yeah, I can totally get
I
the
never thought about like what happens if you make a mistake in the process of making one.
Well, that's the
Ugh.
thing, is like a lot of my detailed stuff, I'm literally leaving behind like hairs with pieces of vinyl. And so it's like I have to be very careful in the handling of it, because there's been a few times where I'm not paying attention and I just go, what? Smudge. And I just ruin all of it. And I'm like, and I got to start again. That's 15
Oof.
hours, 16 hours wasted.
So
and yeah,
So do
that's definitely that's wasted product as well because you've just
yeah.
wrecked a cup or wrecked a glass or
Mm-hmm.
oof. That's always really
Yeah.
hard because you also worry as a business how you can like maintain a decent enough like make enough money so that you can like keep doing this and like I know that a lot of the times you talk about how you are community over profit.
Mhm.
And I think that that's really admirable to do, but like there's a lot of times where you want to be able to make money so that you can start living your dream and start doing these things that I appreciate the hustle. It's really hard.
Mhm.
Don't you agree? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it just like I feel like everybody in the space is kind of on their own grind, like just trying to get eyes get eyes on their content or their product. And this is the first time like I've had the chance to talk to somebody that's like when we say creator, I mean we're talking about like you create actual
Physical
things,
things.
actual
Mhm.
tangible things, and like the grind for that I feel like must be so much harder than just like hopping on a camera and talking. Like, I mean, each one has their own difficulties, but it's just like if I have a bad stream, that's one thing, I can scrap it. But if you mess up on a certain number of cups, like how do you recover? Like
Yeah.
it leads into a lot of interesting questions. Just like, and I think the one that I'm interested in is like, is that I know that I deal with my own anxiousness about like just hopping on the camera. How do you get over like your anxiousness of kind of looking at something and if it's close to perfect or not near, like it's not 100%, but it's like 99.8 because I know I would go crazy. Like I would
And,
just kind of lose it.
and that's the thing, is like you have to kind of like take your own self out of it and realize that most people they're not going to notice that super fine detail. It may drive me crazy. It's like a lot of times, like I've sent people emails and be like, what do you like? I don't want to send this to you, but what do you think? And they're like, it looks fine. I'm like, are you sure? Because
Positive?
I'm not sure. And they're like, no, this is exactly the image I sent you. I'm like, yeah, but there's one line here that's a little wonky. And they're like,
That's the thing is like
it's okay.
you'll notice your mistakes more than anybody else. I think that's true for every single artist or every single person on every single platform is you'll always be your worst critic
Hmm.
Yeah.
when it comes down to it.
And I see a lot of what helps for me is I come very much from a production background.
Yeah.
And so I'm very used to high volume stuff to where I'm like, that's acceptable, that's acceptable, that's acceptable, that's acceptable, that's horrendous. I have a standard of quality, but it's just like not every piece can be meticulously crafted, you know. And
Yeah.
so I have to learn to let it go a little bit, unless it's like something's like I do portrait stuff. People will send me pictures, and I'll do those on the pints and mugs and whatnot. Those I take a lot of time on because those are super important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if it's just stuff I'm kind of cookie cutter cranking out, I've learned to kind of let the small things slide.
Update on the dice ball bags. Lauren has decided not to.
Yeah.
Was wondering if they would be shaved or hairy using thread, maybe adding a piercing. But then has decided not to because she's awesome and she teaches swords instead.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Why make balls?
But the idea is now out there.
Yes. The idea is out into the universe and someone else can probably take up the mantle and make dice ball bags.
If there's anything the internet has taught me is as soon as the idea is out there are thirsty people who will be on that. So that is another fun question. Have you encountered anyone creating items that are a little close to yours? Like have you seen anybody biting your style a little bit?
Not really. There's a lot of people who etch glass. Like it's it's not really that difficult. If you've got a sandblaster and some vinyl, you can do it. I'm more surprised that there's so many people out there that are just blatantly ripping off IP that just don't get nailed for it.
Yeah.
Because like every now and again, I just go into Etsy and I type in D&D etched glass, and I'm like, wow, that's nope, not gonna do that.
that's fully taking on copyrighted material.
Yeah, like you're not even. Like when I did all my character class stuff, I literally sat down and was like, okay, from the ground up, I'm going to start with the font. I'm going to make something that represents each class, and I'm going to start with the font. And I'm going to make a custom font. And then I'm just going to, because it started with the Warlock, because I drew just like a little squiddy looking eye and some tentacles and just like a corner border. And I was like, I just write the word Warlock in there, and that looks pretty cool. And then from there, I was like, I'm going to do a paladin. What's a bard look like? And then I just kind of like built from the ground up, each design specific for the type of glass I was going to put it on. It would be a pint glass or a mug. And then so like when I went to shot glass or scotch glasses, I was like, okay, so I'm going to do same, but I'm going to start the process over again, specifically with a scotch glass in mind. And what kind of feel does a scotch glass have? What kind of vibe does it have? And a different type of elegance to it. And just so I wanted to do more filigree, a little bit sharper letters, stuff like that. And so as I very much build everything from the ground up, and I see a lot of people out there. I love all the glass etchers out there, but a lot of them are just like Google image search, thing that popular.
Yeah, and then I've noticed that a lot of.
And don't get me wrong, I understand people trying to eat. I get it. But it's just like, nope.
So something that I think just kind of passed over there is you're doing the graphic design on your stuff too?
And I'm not an artist. I'm not. For the love of God, I'm not.
I have reason not to believe you.
It's just like a lot of...
fooled me.
As a not artist, I don't appreciate you claiming our status.
I literally there's a lot of people like Dan that does March 1 Studios.
Yes.
He is an artist. I love his work.
I really want a crop top that says "Vile Feminist."
People need to start selling more crop tops with their stuff on it, because like it ain't easy to make a crop top, y'all. Like for fun, I tried to make one, and it turned into like a lopsided crap top. And
you're so right. I'm trying to take the t-shirt sleeves off of one of my shirts. It's not going well.
You have to do shirt surgery.
Yeah,
like, it's just like you can't just lop sleeves off.
And you know what? Crop tops have been coming back in fashion pretty hard.
And
I don't know where it's coming from.
I haven't worn a crop top or like a belly shirt since like the early 2000s. And honestly, there's a little bit more down here than there was before.
Oh, I'm chunky as a mother, and I was walking around wearing a crop top
I
and a
think I could
sarong
still
the other
probably
day.
pretty well rock it.
Yeah, I've got a whole keg here, so I'm gonna.
I think crop tops look better on bigger people.
I
Just let
have
it
a
out
tendency to
like
agree on
you.
that.
That's just my opinion. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Well, I'm gonna have to give that a try. Crop tops. I'm thinking JoJo. Exactly. Oh goodness gracious. So how do we feel about taking a quick 5-minute break off, y'all?
Sure.
Not trying to hide the fact that my coffee came, and I'm very eager for it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we'll just
All
we'll take a soft 5-minute break, and we will be back. Until then, enjoy the chill vibes and the break video.
Hold the
Own
keg,
the keg,
slap an
slap an
IPA
IPA sticker,
sticker.
people will praise you. All right, we'll be back.
All right, I'll be right back, y'all. So sorry.
And hi, we're back. Everybody struck a pose.
Hey, everybody. So we've been talking with Nix about just the challenges of being a creator in the TTRPG space. We've also discovered that conventions are in dire need of booth beards.
Which sounds like a great pirate name too.
It really does.
Arr.
Booth beard.
See, guess we played
God.
Pirates last night.
I know, right? I'm kind of regretting my character Calvin Melvin's name and the fact that I didn't go with Boothbeard. So now, exactly. Now I want to get into your streaming. Like, what streams are you taking part in these days?
Not really a whole lot.
Yeah, why?
Well, it's like
get back in there, man.
it's one of those things where it's just like my computer I bought at Walmart 8 years ago, and so like I think my lawnmower works better for streaming. But it's just like I want to. It's one of those things where it's just like I'm a one-man show here, and so I have to be like on deck constantly to get this stuff out the door.
True.
And
God, that's so much pressure.
I don't have a lot of downtime, and so
Yeah.
it's like I constantly. And it's one of those things where it's like, not only do I have to deal with the orders I have, but the orders I need to get for tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. I constantly have to, because like, your stuff only stays relevant for so long. It's writing stuff, streaming stuff, music stuff, and like physically created stuff only stays cool for so long before somebody's like, so it's just like, gotta constantly be thinking like, okay, what's the next? I gotta constantly be watching the RPG space to be like, what can I make a token for? What can I make a glass for? What like constantly when I watch people's would watch them play at a table online, I'm looking at their table and like, what do they have on their table? What could they use? What do they got? Well, they got a cup. Do they use pitchers? They have like, and I've got all these ideas for little accessories.
That's interesting.
But I'm trying to find a way to, as a one-man show, like design, build, and make the thing.
So
And then and then put a flair on it, because like you can make a thing, but if you don't put some kind of a flair on it, like people are just like, okay, cool, it serves a function, and things have to have a little fashion with their function.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things where it's like I would love to. I've done a couple of streams where like I'm just chatting and working. I'm trying to move forward and do like just a chatting and me playing old school Nintendo games, because that's my level of gamer. And I was like, I'm gonna try and reach out to somebody who does like 8-bit art, because I just want to do like a big good. I want to just do like a big title card that just says Wednesday, but the NES in the center is capitalized super big.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here for this.
Spouse does actually
Retro
streams
gaming.
retro games a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, I died, I don't care. Like I don't have a lot of invested. It's soothing. Like I was playing Dr. Mario the other day. I'm like, this game is still the best. Like the music is soothing, and I don't have to think too much. If I don't want to, I'll just set it to down low mode and just kind of
See, but those games have the good kind of not thinking. Like a lot of the games that come out now, it's just like, I'm not thinking and I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
Like straight up, I'll listen to the theme music from Dr. Mario all day in the shop, just because it's kind of soothing. Just have low and then in the background.
No, it actually is. Like, a lot of video game music is really good to just sort of chill out to and just hang out to it. Like, Jamie just threw a couple examples of emotes that I have done in chat. Like, there's a +1 heart. I might actually just throw it up in the Zoom chat so that way you can see it. But yeah, I do 8-bit art or that sort of thing on occasion. And I do emotes for people's channels, which reminds me I need to make one for the guy that's next to me. Over this side.
Oh, that's me.
That's
Hi.
Yeah, I also owe you a overlay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I do
was
have
out
to say
yesterday.
I'm excited. I do have to say though, one of the things that was brought up that I'm really interested in is how you see the table. Like, that's because I don't have that insight at all. So I'm never kind of looking at the table like what's missing, what could be added here. Like,
Well, it's like if you notice when people are playing, a lot of times they're like, I'll notice when people are like, they go to do something while they're playing, and they're like, they'll search for, I need you know, and they're like, okay, what are they looking for? What could I make that they could just be like, oh, do the thing, you know, or see them, you know, trying to track something like, well, could I help make
Like
a thing?
initiative trackers.
Yeah. And it's just like I started doing the glass tokens. It's like I have the Destiny
Like
Fate
inspiration.
Point, yeah, the inspiration. I have I just started doing Star Wars, the Destiny, the Fate, the Force points,
Okay.
the
Oh.
light side, dark side. So where it's like a little starburst pattern, negative or positively etched on one side, and then you flip it over and it's the same pattern is negatively etched on. So it's like black on a white surface and then white on a black surface. So you can, you know, track that dark side, light side.
Yeah. I know in Star Trek Adventures, there's also momentum tokens.
Yeah, threat and momentum.
Threat and momentum.
Yeah.
Which, those are like, you could definitely etch like the UFP logo on one, or like the Klingon Empire logo on
And
the
that's the thing is like I have to be careful about that IP.
Exactly.
So it's like
So
I got
you
to
have
sit
to
down.
represent it, but you can't use the official
Yeah.
representation.
I'm like, what says Star Trek, Starfleet, threat, momentum, gaming? Like,
It's like
how do I
a red alert
convey
or a
what this
condition
is?
blue almost.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, trying to find a way to like okay, so I'm going to use a blue token and a red token. And now what kind of imagery am I going to use to represent this without crossing that line of like, there's the lawyer at the door.
Exactly. Swings for all, haven't played Dr. Mario in so long. Yeah. For real. Like, it's been a minute for me. And Kitchen Bratland, good morning. I hope you are having a great morning. Is there a new one coming out for Dr. Mario? Maybe? I don't know. I know that they're re-releasing a bunch of the 3D games in one collection, which is going to be pretty cool and pretty fun.
I feel like such an old man. I know there's been a bunch of gaming news that came out, and I don't know any of it.
I don't know. I've been really deep into Spirit Fair lately.
Spirit Fair?
Everybody yelled at me forever to get into Skyrim, and I got an Xbox 360. Somebody gave it to me. I was like, okay, I guess I can do it now. It's become my advanced hiking simulator.
Especially
the music, the music's nice, and I'm just gonna go walk around these mountains over here.
I'm not gonna do any quests.
No, that stuff's hard.
So much time in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's my advanced hiking simulator.
Wait a second, was Skyrim on the 360?
Yeah.
I think it was. Is that how old that game is?
Oh yeah, they just keep modding it and re-releasing it on every single platform ever. Are you actually looking this up now?
Yeah. Oh my god, it was on the 360. What the fuck? When did Skyrim first come out? Hold on.
I think it was fairly...
It came out November 11th, 2011.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Skyrim is almost 10 years old.
Wow. They keep releasing that game.
They really
They
do.
won't let that motherfucker die.
And
if they release it on the new systems, I'm punching Bethesda in the face. I'm going wherever Bethesda is and I'm fighting them.
We've gone from fighting the chat to fighting gaming companies.
It's called
the content
growth.
we signed up for.
I'm growing as a person.
Yeah.
Wow, Skyrim is almost 10 years old.
It'll be 10 years old next year.
That's how I feel about distinct memories of getting Tetris on the NES as a kid, and I'm just like, wait, that game's how old now? Like, oof.
I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of an existential crisis right now. Fuck, I'm old.
Yeah, oh man. My absolute favorite game to play in high school was Ocarina of Time, and now I'm just woof.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, Ocarina of Time came out. I need to think.
God.
I was... Yeah. I was in like grade 8 or grade 9 when it came out. I was like definitely in the age where I went from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64. In terms of
Nintendo 64 parties, like Mario Kart, GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye was good. Or Perfect Dark.
Yeah, oh god, I love Perfect Dark. But no, GoldenEye slappers only, no Odd Job.
Yes!
Odd Job is cheating.
Let's see, I went from the NES to the Genesis to Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2.
I skipped GameCube. I don't know why.
Yeah, I did too. I
I
skipped
did
GameCube and the
I
Wii.
still have my GameCube. Or actually, no, I don't have my GameCube because I have a that guy story about my GameCube.
I did grab the Wii because they had a zombie game, like one of those
Zombie U.
one of those railroaders.
Like House of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yes, and it was like the best worst game ever.
Yes.
Like the most horrifically bad 70s movie
Yeah.
ever, like full dialogue, and you're just like, what is going on with Nintendo? It's like, this game is terrible, but you could use that little aftermarket shotgun remote, and you're like, I don't know, this is kind of awesome.
Yeah. My first console was an Atari 2600. That doesn't actually age me because I had a lot of older brothers and sisters. Like there's a bit of an age gap between I'm the youngest of my family, and there's a bit of an age gap between the first batch of kids and the second batch of kids. So I went from Atari 2600 to the first game that I ever played was Super Mario Brothers or Mario Brothers 3. And I sat on my brother's lap and I jumped Mario across to take out Bowser. That was the first game that I ever beat.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I played a lot of SNES on emulator, weirdly enough. And then, I went up from there.
The Mega Man franchise.
Oh, Mega Man's so good. It's different if I'm sitting here like, I've never heard of a lot of this. A lot of these games and a lot of these things.
My first game system and first computer were the same thing. It was an Atari computer.
Nice.
That like had a cassette drive, and it was all one piece with a green screen monitor, and I would spend hours with a basic programming cartridge, just days, to make a thing that when you hit the button it went and that was it. You're just like, I am computering.
And I have so a lot of the times, like when I think about my knowledge of computers, I'm like, I really haven't progressed much since 2006. I really need to like get back updated with those things.
But I can actually say that 2011 was my peak year because that was the first time that I built a PC, and I built it for Skyrim and Guild Wars 2.
I mean, I built this one underneath. Jamie did a lot of the work. About 3 years ago, we built it. But it's going to start to need upgrades really soon. I can tell. It's getting to that point. But yeah, I've been... Yeah, gaming has been a huge part of my life.
We old, y'all.
We are old. Well...
Yeah.
I ain't got time for the G4 or whatever it is, the gaming and the...
Everybody always looks shocked when I tell them I'm going to be 42 this year.
Yeah, my spouse has that same problem. He's 42. He turned 42 this year. And it's just like, you have a baby face.
Yeah, I'm like, trust me, I feel 70.
Yeah. It's like, I bend down and things hurt
Yeah. Oh
all the
god.
time.
That's starting to happen to me now, and I hate it. I'm trying to like rage against the dark. It's not working.
I drank 3 beers and I'll feel like crap for 2 days.
Oh god. No, I can't. I'm not a drinker. That's what's hilarious is I look like some psycho biker, and I'm just like I literally drink a Guinness and I like go into giggle fits.
Yes, that's me too.
Like I can't stop giggling at everything. And it's just they're like, "Oh my god, what'd you drink? Like a bottle of tequila?" I'm like, "I had a beer. Most of a beer. Not a drinker."
Yeah, I don't fuck with tequila either. Nothing good ever happens after tequila.
My only like bad alcohol or my no-fly zone alcohol is whiskey. Like Tennessee whiskey makes me fight.
See that? Just a little fighty Anita.
So yeah, there's a story. Jamie and I were dating, kinda, at the time. And he had just like someone had picked him up wrong. It was like the first time he realized that he was getting old. Is someone picked him up wrong and he popped a rib out of place. And we went out to the bar. And I'm like, I want a shot of bourbon because I like bourbon. And he's like, okay, gives me the shot, and it wasn't bourbon. It was Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. And I downed it. I realized what it was. And I got angry and I punched him in the freshly popped rib. It was not a good time. I get angry and I don't know why and I don't like it. So I don't have whiskey anymore.
I mean, are we trading drinking stories?
Nah. Well, we could if you want.
The shirt's kind of appropriate for that, right? I'll give you my.
Is it the Malort story?
No, this is the tequila story.
Oh god.
So tequila makes me dance, and just drinking in general makes me like a goofy dude. And everything that I say in the story needs to be followed promptly by allegedly.
Allegedly.
So I was drinking with some friends, and we were turning up real hard. One of our buddies was at the club, and he was showing signs of getting ready to Ralph. So we all walked out of the club, help our boy get some air and whatnot. But we were still kind of turning up. The bouncer and the cop didn't let us back in the club because if he's gonna barf, then we're not bringing him back in. We got upset, started to leave, and we may have allegedly started twerking on a cop car. That might be a thing that could have happened. Allegedly.
What's the statute of limitations on twerking on a cop car?
And I don't mean like asses to doors. I mean like feet on hood and trunk.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Cops saw, got mad, chased us, we ran. That was a good story.
I know, it kind of makes me feel bad. All of my shenanigans were sober.
I have sober shenanigans too, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I get into a lot of weird things.
I don't get to have it's got to be nice though to have that like at least one story of you doing something absolutely dumb that you don't remember, and everybody's like, "No, you did the thing." You're like, "That sounds awesome. I'm really glad I don't remember it."
I don't have blackout drunk stories.
Like I remember every dumb thing that I've ever done and the thought process that led up to it.
Yeah, and then you mull over those decisions at about 3 a.m.
Yeah,
they haunt you, and you overthink.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I didn't like those pants anyway. I don't care that I left them at the park.
Sober stories are better, if you ask me, because a lot of the blackout stories that one might have, allegedly, those are stories that are told to you.
Allegedly.
Not one state you remember allegedly. Like, it's always bad when somebody's telling you a story about you that you can't recall, but you're like, I can see my dumb ass do it.
It's nice though, is once you have that tale to tell, you can always start it with, according to legend.
I need to start doing that.
According to legend, as the books have written.
It was told that.
Yeah, the people speak of a time when.
I think that's how we need to start drinking stories from now on.
Don't let your blackout drunk stories just be stories anymore. They must become legend.
It's coming back to what we said earlier, is that, like, you're supposed to be a role player. Like, embellish this. Sell this to me in character.
Stories tell of a Chicago club called Soundbar.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things, is recalling past horrors that have happened to me in a funny manner for other people's amusement. It's been an interesting life.
I remember every dumb thing I've ever done. Anxiety is an anxiety mood. It really is different.
Those times when you're just sitting there and you remember that time you got Winnie the Pooh in the back of your car and you had horrific post-Mexican food diarrhea. And you're stuck at 2 a.m. in a church parking lot. And then you got to hose your car out.
So the prophets have foretold.
I'm just imagining, like, this young boy standing in front of a wizard, like, how does this help me?
The things that happen.
I only tell what has already occurred, child.
Yeah. It's for you to seek the meaning in the fable. Now go and contemplate it. I just like traumatizing children with poop stories.
Just a freaky ass wizard. Thank
Yeah,
you for that follow, Brito. Welcome.
Yeah. The moral of the story is don't talk to that guy anymore. He shares way too much.
What's worse is if the hero finds their way because of the story.
As the
Just
legends
like,
foretold, I was twerking on a cop car.
Yeah.
What about stories from the last day of cons? That weird state where you're not 100% sure you did a thing? Oh, I've thought those stories.
I could go on just about the anime conventions that I've been to. Just that's a whole thing in and of itself. I don't go to anime conventions anymore because holy smokes, they get nutty.
Ours are pretty tame up here, to be fair.
The conventions we have around here are just like a yard sale with comic books.
It's like someone just dug up their old big long boxes from
Yeah.
the attic and it's just like, here, you can have them for $1.
That's what I love too. They advertise it as like the local convention. You're like, it's a flea market full of nerd stuff, and hey, there's a guy dressed as Thanos. I guess that technically it's a convention now.
There's always a cosplayer. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how small the con is or how shitty the con is. There's always someone that is going to go all out on a cosplay, and I fucking respect that.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that because you know that there are cosplayers everywhere, and the ones in small towns have to make the most of every opportunity they get.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
they really have
I
to
should
hustle.
I should just start going to yard sales and cosplay.
Why not? You know what?
I'm sick of
your
us
local
not being
market.
able to wear cloaks wherever the fuck we want. You know how upsetting that is? Cloaks are so comfortable.
I
They're
really
just
wanna wear more
blankets that
cloaks.
make you look badass.
I kind of want like a nice demi cloak, like just a little half cape.
Oh, I'm on a full-on quest to normalize kilts, linen shirts, and pirate hats, and my
Yes.
wizard hat. I mean, it's a quest at this point.
All right, you do.
And you
do
rock
that.
it,
I wanna
really. You really do.
I want to normalize cloaks. That's my goal.
Okay, I'm
We
in.
got
I'll help
this.
you out with this. I love
Cloaks, capes, canes, and
Any shoulder adorned wear, like
doublets.
just
Yeah.
Some pauldrons?
yeah, or just the single pauldron with the strap.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's better than what we're wearing now. This sucks. Like,
I think that this is how, you know how every post-apocalyptic movie, there's always those people that are dressed in body armor? Or like,
I
and really those are just the people that go hard at Ren fairs. And they were just ready for that moment that the world ended.
They're just like,
Yeah,
you know,
they're
the
just
world's
like,
ended. We're
my time is
resetting
here. Yeah, they're just like, my time has come.
Just opens the closet, grabs their Fimo armor.
Yeah. Yeah, they specifically put a floodlight in the back of the closet just so for that reveal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're just
And
like,
it opens up and then it's just like they're basked in light.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
Forgot
my
what I
God,
looked like on the
yes.
third day of Odafest, Riss. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. You were really tired. One of my local friends is in chat right now, and yeah, they were real burnt out at the third day of the local anime convention. Handling lines and people.
So we have a an anime convention here in Chicago called ASIN, and like on the Saturday there is a rave, and I'd never been to a rave before. I'd never been to an anime convention, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna knock two out in one, knock two things off the bucket list in one shot. I was not prepared for the things that I saw that day. First off, it was a soap bubble rave. So like they like were just shooting foam and soap and everything, and it was an overwhelming experience. I was already a little turned. There were people in not enough clothing. There was people in all the clothing. There are furries in not enough clothing somehow. I don't understand a lot of what I saw that day. It was the day that I grew up and became a man.
As has been passed down through generations.
Also, I've discovered that personas were created by a black guy. So you're welcome. We did that. We claiming everything again. We taking it all back.
Dragon Ball Z.
There's a documentary on furries that I ended up watching. Don't ask questions. And one of the things that we discovered is that Personas was made by a black guy. I was very excited. He didn't know what he was making. He didn't think it would catch on the way it did. He just drew himself as like a little cheetah dude or whatever. Quite a little dirty guy. Then it took off. Everybody started doing it.
Aw. I love that.
You never know what you're going to inspire, good or bad.
I love and respect my friends in the furry community.
So Noir wants to dress like a 70s pimp.
Got it.
I do.
I was also going to say Orlando Calrissian.
Oh, hell yeah. But you're saying something about everybody's cup of tea?
I
made
think,
me think about coffee.
Yeah, like the furry community definitely isn't everyone's cup of tea. But I really appreciate how creative the furry community is.
Oh yeah, I got nothing but love for the furry community. They know how to party for sure. Like,
they really do.
The dedication at conventions when you just see them like crumpled in the corner because of the heat, but they're still in that like you're gonna die.
Yeah. A lot of those are just straight foam and they don't really have anything in the way of ventilation.
Yeah. It's just I've been in, like, I used to work at McDonald's and we had a local parade that McDonald's would participate in, and I was the only guy big enough for the Grimace outfit, so I kind of have a understanding.
You have that kinship.
Well, I mean, so this is something that's like really impressive. I have a friend who's a member of the 501st, the Star Wars official cosplayer group, and he's also a furry. And so what he has done is he's taken a lot of the modifications that he put into his 501st stormtrooper outfit and put it into his fursuit. So like he's got like a full fan setup.
501st?
Five.
F-U-R-S-T?
First?
God damn it! Don't fuck you. God damn it, Anita. No. I can't. No. Don't do that. I'm sorry.
Alicia's not here. I have to bring up the puns.
You made me really question myself. Like, am I saying it wrong?
Nope.
But yeah, they have like full like ventilation systems and fans and like hydration packs.
Oh yeah, like, you can install a Camelback because you might need to.
So the dedication is real. I couldn't do it. I don't like shirts that are too tight, let alone a big ass fursuit. I can't do it.
Could you imagine having a whirring fan that close to your face?
Usually you stick it, like, if you have a taller head, you stick it up a little higher.
See, I'd be constantly worried about, like, my hair getting caught in it. Like, ah!
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I don't know how they make it work, but they do. And, like, I mean...
Engineering geniuses.
I know, right? Which really makes you think, like, somebody was just like, I need to be in this fursuit for as long as possible. And just went full Tony Stark on it.
That's what I just want to see an interview someday with like an award-winning architect. They're like, how did you come up with the engineering? How did you get into engineering? They're like, well, one day I was sitting around making my fursona.
Are the visuals weird?
Huh?
Oh, AJ's in chat and is saying that the visuals are a little weird.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Well, let's take a look.
Maybe everyone do the robot for a little bit. No, it's looking fine on the stream on my end. Maybe try refreshing, AJ, just to sort of see if it'll.
Yeah, not the computer. Refresh AJ.
Yeah, refresh. Refresh your
Press
stream.
your on and off button.
Yes. Turn yourself on and off again.
I have a lot of buffering and other issues, even with settings lowered. So yes.
Oh, okay.
So we are buffering.
It's weird because it's not saying I'm dropping frames, and the stream is looking okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just trying to figure out what might be using up all that. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, yeah, it is kind of herky-jerky, isn't it?
Can y'all hear us okay?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what? I
need
didn't need you to write it out, Jamie.
Okay, so that's how far behind they are. Wow, that's a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually...
Want to take a $5 to take a look at the tech?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a quick look at things. So yeah, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and see what might be causing all these problems. Yeah, we will be right. Switch to the break video, and we'll be right back.
All right, see ya.
She's away and I wanna kiss her face. She thinks she's in her head. She thinks she's the only one who goes crazy. Picks up the phone and she thinks she heard it ring. Hugging her pillow every night when she's asleep. But she's not the only one when I'm with her. I can't sleep, wanna know what she's dreaming. Falling in love to the sound of her breathing. Trying to hide, but it's easy to see that. Well, she's not the only one. She's not the only one. You've got those bright eyes looking through mine. I'm trying to figure out if there's any more doubt in my mind. You can test me or confess.
us, please. 'Cause I know you've been watching, waiting for me to fall so you can catch me. The one thing she don't know is I never let show is that I miss her when she's away, and I wanna kiss her face. She thinks she's in over her head. She thinks she's the only one who goes crazy. Picks up the phone when she thinks she heard it ring. Hugging her pillow every night when she's asleep. But she's not the only one. When I'm with her, I can't sleep. Wanna know what she's dreaming. Falling in love to the sound of her breathing. Trying to hide, but it's easy to see that. But she's not the only one. She's not the only one. Yeah. No, she's not the only one. How we get here feels like 10 years. No, try to